along with a Molotov sitting on Freiburg and a couple extras on Exist, but they split up initially, although most of them are pushing over here towards the Graffiti. They do try to push towards that, but it puts a nice stop to not only Glaive pushing through, but Dupree as well. Both kind of get destroyed, and, well, it's going to open up the pathway to a B hit if they want to go for it.
Well, man, NiP are just running away with this pistol round so far. They're already on the site. Device and Zipex are close nearby with their USPs, but down goes Zipex, and Device isn't going to be lasting a whole lot longer. NiP with a flawless pistol round does do a bit of damage on his way out. With these flashes being traded, though, it does keep NiP from pushing up Monster for the time being. Now the green light has been punched in, and they'll move towards the site, but Glaive is in a prime position to strike with his M4, but gets bested by Freiburg. Huge entry frags for NiP. And then now Zipex is going to come through with two of his own. Is keeping this round interesting. 3-on-3. And he's going to get himself yet another one. He is certainly showing up for Katowice so far. Exist is the next player to fall. Forrest tries his spray. Down he goes.
Now trying to get prepared for this one. Again, they were expecting long pressure before, as that's what we did see a couple rounds back. But now, well, here comes Dupree on that flank. Immediately, Get Right's going to get destroyed. You've already got Freiburg and Exist at very low HP too. Exist is trying to sort of lurk his way in to see if he can find anyone, but there's no one actually on the site itself. Dupree is trying to move towards Long now to reactivate his flank. The smokes from the T's actually doing a good job of holding them back, and they'll go for the plant, and the timing works out just as the smokes start to fade here, but unfortunately, again, with the health pools, it's going to be rough to hold back on. Exist, chiming in for one more by the bank. He does take down Device, but now Dupree is here too, and you have Zipex still sitting back down below the dumpster. Dupree, he's got a headshot angle against Forrest, but he himself at 13 HP. It's very, very hazmatic now for both of these teams to try and push back in. Dupree finding the kill now, though, and it's up to Exist from the backside, only with 32 HP. He's gotten them low, and it's a stick on the bomb defuse, but it's a full 10-second one at that, so Exist is given the room to sneak back out. He tries to go for the kill into Dupree, but it's not going to pan out. And Astralis will...
I think it's coming down to a lot of sloppy clutches as well, where they win, but they lose a bunch of weapons in the process. As it is an eco, and it's going to be the eco cleanup, courtesy of Ninjas in Pyjamas. Not a single loss comes in, and yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. This is very much a carbon copy of what we saw on Train, where they could never get an economy together. Even in this round, at 13 through, they're going to have a buy, but it's not going to include an AWP unless Glaive drops and basically has nothing to play with Achilles' heel of the Danes. There's going to be another trade early on. The flashes are solid, and Glaive will open up with 2 kills. So this is one of the best chances we've seen for Astralis to get themselves another rifle round in quite some time. But it is going to be Freiburg faking out the bomb plant, trying to draw the CTs in position. That will get himself killed, though, sprayed through the smoke, and now suddenly CT's coming out the woodwork. Forrest does have the bomb and enough health to cause a bit of a threat still. 1 minute and 5 to play with. But the call has came out, and Glaive forever, the very intelligent mind in this Astralis team, is already flanked around. So he should be in prime position to fend off this Forest plant.
Yeah, so they're already going to be up here waiting for Forest. There's already 2 players up in the site just getting ready for this push. So if he's able to make it work, that would be incredible. But it's not looking likely as he does swing out. Glaive's going to be waiting in that corner, and immediately loses the duel there. So it's a claimer from Astralis, mainly off of the heroics.
So decent positions assumed, but this is where you're expecting to see NiP just funnel through into connector and take this for themselves. Dupree's going to get the first kill. Molotov going in. Glaive going to switch to his smoke. Not quite deep enough, actually, so Glaive's okay to just sit there, and that could really bait Freiburg into a false sense of security. Still gets the spray, though, onto Glaive, who goes big, and the second. Huge kills by Freiburg after conceding the first kill. That is going to put so much pressure on Dupree, Kirby, and Zipex now. Controlling the ramps, but look where the bomb is on the other side of the map. They're not going to be able to get that planted for quite some time, and if Forrest can take down Device, this will put the round into a very awkward position for Astralis. It's a duel to the death between him and Device, who is keep peeking him. They're not able to get the kill just yet.
It's already an awkward round, unfortunately, for both teams. It all started off with that playground battle where, you know, the teams got jumbled up and nobody could seem to have an advantage. Dupree's got a nice lineup against Forrest, though, so he's going to shut them down there. They've got the bomb back, and now it's Freiburg that has to come out big with a clutch. Unfortunately, since, you know, they pulled all the pressure off of B, it is just a 50-50 remark in terms of where the bomb's actually going to swing towards. It looks like Astralis are taking it into A, though.
Freiburg playing in a position where it can easily rotate to either side. The issue is more about how many players he has up against him. Dupree has shown himself not quite able to connect the headshot there from Freiburg, and as soon as he goes up onto the 2 smokes and 2 flashes, there's so much time remaining. One of those smokes has just been used. It does go a monster, but the 2-man tag team of Zipex and Glaive have already pushed through, so that smoke isn't really doing a great deal for the Ninjas now. Down comes Freiburg, rotating very quickly. The brisk play going to be backfiring for the time being. Existed with 2 kills before he inevitably falls. Very well played. May have bought up enough time for the rest of the CTs now to get in position. The bomb dropped out on the site, and Forrest is close and nearby, and he will claim a kill onto Kirby. The execution not quite playing out the way Astralis hoped for. Now it's Dupree who has his chance to try and clutch. Won't be happening. Ninjas Pyjamas 13-10 the lead.
Forrest had some really key positioning there in the B bomb site with the way he was playing that out, specifically towards the pit, even going into the very end there too. The last man alive for Astralis there was 100% locked on looking for him on the right side of the approach from the pit, but again, NiP here split up 2-2 across the map right now. But Dupree is going to send himself in initially. Pit holds, though. He's able to pick up that kill against Dupree. They're now down a man. They have to try to make it back. There we go. There's the kill from Zipix to try and do that. 8 seconds left to try and plant the bomb, and Kirby's going for it right now. But this is the time for NiP to strike. They push back in. They won't be able to stop the plant. Kirby escapes with that. But Freiburg's here, giving pressure to Kirby on Heaven, stopping him from peeking out and stopping these pit players, and they do all go down at the end of the day. So NiP is going to take this all the way to round number 30 and tie it up at 15-15, which means we're going to overtime. They need to make a decision very soon.
Seems the decision has been made, considering that Glaive up through connector, and now the bomb is transitioning through the bathroom side. Smokes, flashes, mollies. Freiburg still standing tall, losing minimal amounts of health, and this is looking good now for the Ninjas. Glaive is the last to fall, leaving it a bit late. NiP will pounce on top of that, regaining the lead once again. As to be fair, they have been out in the lead.
It's basically equated across the map. As you look at it, 2 T's on either side of the map and 2 CTs on either side of the map. They're playing into this evenly. Exists no panic at all as he gets hit with a flashbang either.
Blue, I just seen in chat there, I know you don't have it up. Exist apparently is timed out.
Oh.
NiP have typed that in chat, and Astralis did reply, so that is incredibly unfortunate. I think a frag had already gone down, so it's going to be an interesting decision, but I think they're going to play this on regardless.
Out in his direction, but I think he's going to be okay. But this position's been used quite a lot in this map, so it wouldn't surprise me if Forrest goes for the check onto it. He's low, though. This will be the easy kill for Zip if he tries to go for it here. And as they do swing out, Zipix grabs that one against Forrest. Smoke to give him a little bit more room to maneuver. But also, at the same time, GetRight has regrouped with the main pushing force. But Zipix doesn't care. He's going to push through his own smoke, moves in, takes down Zipix, and he's got a hole left in it as well, so that he can destroy GetRight when he goes for the peak. Zipix, so smart, and such a crucial player for Astralis in these two matches. Well, things are going to be tossed into the fray yet again to start off this half of OT. As Device sits back this time, waiting for the aggression to span out from NiP towards him over here on short A. There's no actual pressure at all from the CTs here on long, though, so Forrest, probably a bit confused, is walking up to the site, just trying to investigate. There's nobody watching for this flank. He's going to move in, finds that first kill. Kirby takes him a minute to actually figure out what's going on. A bit cautious for a third player, but he just opened up a pathway for his teammates to push in for free to the site.
Just, yeah.
Okay. Freiburg kind
of... Nice dink there. Freiburg's like, what, you what, mate?
Yeah, Freiburg's like, okay, that makes sense. Don't even know if he was looking for him in that situation, but he gets brought down to 66 HP, and well, now they're going to fight for the control of the B bomb site, getting traded back and forth, but Forrest still holds the line. It's Dupree in a 1v2. He knows where Forrest is. I think Freiburg peeked him on one to go too, so we should know where they both are. It's hunting down Forrest. That's the key one. Gets that one and the second one, and Dupree coming out with a 1v2 clutch puts Astralis in the lead and one more round away from closing out the map.
In the sandbags, but Freiburg has called this one. Is he going to see Zipex peeking up there? UMP at this range is absolutely savage, especially considering that Zipex only has 52 health to play with. But he's made a move towards Graffiti. He gets spotted, though. Freiburg definitely saw a pixel, and I feel like if he had a kit, he'd full defuse from this point. That's the unfortunate set of circumstances for him. Going to throw out the Molotov and go for that defuse. Zipex is going to be peeking from heaven. Oh, what a shot from Freiburg to the head. And he has enough time to defuse. Wiggle. Smoke is going to stop him from getting any picks for the time being. Does rattle off a shot on his retreats. Now shy of 30 seconds. Ninjas Pyjamas have got very little to play with in terms of any information. In terms of nades, they're going to have to rely on pure entry frag power.
And they don't have any, any leeway on this bomb site either. Everybody from Astralis is here to defend it. Kirby already chiming in for 2 kills. He gets himself a third as well before finally going down to Forrest. It's Forrest and GetRight left alone here now. Zipix and Glaive move back in and they trade out those last few kills, so Astralis holds on. Playground, so they've taken him down. That's really good control for Astralis. Again, that's really going to restrict NiP to only a few options for their actual take. So they'll be able to read into this quite nicely. and rotate accordingly, as we can see now from the players on the back A site.
Device for the opening pick in this confrontation. He's got both of them, actual fact, and he's going to be getting a fourth on top of it. Great work by the AWPer, finally showing what he's capable of doing. Gone under the radar a bit. 2-round advantage for Astralis. 2 more required.
To try and still close this one out. So things are certainly looking bleak indeed for NiP. And keep in mind, again, as Metas has mentioned a few times here, this would send them down 0-2 after already losing their first game versus Fnatic just a couple of hours ago. It's KRB that opens things up, though. Looking good for Astralis on the opener. That'll give them water control. That's just Get Right. Unfortunately, being punished for his aggression. And now Astralis, if they want to, they can poise up for a quick B execute. It's split evenly, just 2-2 across the map. But it seems like with the time remaining, Astralis are still going to do a little bit more investigating. Just sending KRB back, though. More than likely he's going to regroup with these guys and watching out for any quick flanks. And then if they don't see anything, into the B site they'll go.
Well, NiP are trying to spread out as much as they can across the map. You've got Frost looking down long. Freiburg was watching short. 2 players on B watching Monster and short, respectively. But the issue is that when you spread out that thin, if you get that fist of the terrorist just punching through your face, there's very little you can do to deter against that. Smokes are starting to connect on the site, and with already NiP with 2 players left, it's not looking too good. Freiburg comes up, loads of players ahead of him. He goes down. Forrest is going to have to clutch this 1-on-4, otherwise Astralis will break the Swedish hearts and move through to a 2-0. Do you have it in your locker, Forrest? Here we go.
No room to get in either. He was smoked back off, so he's even got to delay this one. Good flashbang, but they're all there, and they're all going to be able to shut it down. Flawless 4th overtime from Astralis. They do win that war of attrition, and they will go up 28-24 to finally...